Welcome, chamber music fans. I'm Michelle Schumann. I'm here with the Austin Chamber Music Center, and I'm really glad to be here with Josh, the cellist from the MIro Quartet. And I'm really excited to have you guys at the festival this year because I've wanted you to be at the festival for a number of years, but it just hasn't worked out with scheduling and everything. And you guys are such an incredible fixture in Austin, and everyone knows that. But you're also kind of international celebrities too. So it's
celebrities is debatable.
Right. Celebrities in the chamber music world, for sure, not debatable at all. So it's really great to have you here. I have to tell you, the first time I heard the MIro Quartet, I think you'll probably laugh at this story. I actually didn't see you live at all, but I heard you very clearly. It was at the retirement party for Dean Freeman, the Dean of Fine Arts. Yeah. And they threw a big party for him, and you guys were touring off in nether regions, and but I think they had you guys record.
We recorded a video, yeah.
Yeah, you recorded a video playing the Eyes of Texas Are Upon You.
That's right. Our own arrangement, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's awesome. And it was, you know, I know that you guys do spectacular things, but this was really, really spectacular. I mean, it was honestly like it made a huge impression on me, even just that. And what I got from that and from always hearing you guys afterwards is just that you have such energy when you guys play, and you bring such kind of emotional commitment to all your performances. And I know obviously that was the Eyes of Texas Are Upon Us, so it's not.
But it's important no matter what you play. That is, it doesn't matter if you're playing tangos or whatever it is.
Right.
You should really be committed to what you're doing.
Totally.
Always.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I imagine part of being able to do that is having the chemistry within the group and being able to kind of commit together. And one of the questions that I wanted to ask you was, I know that Sandy is leaving the group, and you know, I'm sure that you're going to be thinking about a lot of things and looking for a new player, but can you talk a little bit about the chemistry in a string quartet and the importance of having chemistry both like on stage and off stage, or maybe not, maybe it's not important off stage, I don't know. Give me.
I think the chemistry in a quartet, playing wise, is actually slightly overrated. I think you can learn how to play together. I think having a similar goal and desire for what you want your life to be, having a similar drive to you know, sort of how you see the trajectory of the quartet's career, and also having finding a personality that doesn't come in with, I shouldn't say an ego, because actually they should have an ego, but they should be able to shelve their ego for the good of and the commitment to the music. That's exactly what we're talking about with the Eyes of Texas.
Right.
And so when we're looking and we're talking to people, I mean, there's a lot of great violinists out there, and we've heard a lot of them already. I actually just came from an audition.
Oh, wow.
But you know, what we're looking for is a real sort of personal commitment to the idea of the quartet. And also, I think somebody we feel comfortable with personally, that we know that we can work with. You know, we rehearse hours and hours every day. We need to be sitting in a room with this person and be able to get along with them. And we need to be sitting on an airplane or in a rental car or backstage at a concert hall, and we have to be able to feel good about who they are and understand that their goal is the same as our goal, which is to make the quartet sound as good as it possibly can.
So maybe it's more important to have personal chemistry off the stage in a way that you can learn from each other's differences.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to be on the same level as players, and I mean, in both ways. Like, you know, it's they always say hire people who are better than you or know more than you, and I think that's valuable. But if they know too much more than you, the group becomes not balanced. But the same is true on the other side. If they don't come in with as much experience or sort of ability on their instrument, then that also becomes a little bit of an issue.
Is the process exciting, or is it like, oh God, why do we have to go through this, or is it a bit of both?
To be totally frank, we've already gone through one round of auditions, and we're on to the second one, and now I'm sort of like, oh. Because the first round I thought we would sort of something would materialize, and it didn't really. Now the second round of auditionees I think is much more capable and much more sort of decorated, which is interesting, and we're having some real serious players who have big careers coming to play with us, which is great. And we have a responsibility to the university to make sure that we know who's going to be in place quite soon.
Right.
So we're feeling a little sort of under the gun too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll work out. It'll take its time, but
But it takes some time after we find somebody to really get the group focused, and it's going to take some time for the quartet to develop its new sound. Even though 3/4 of the group is going to be the same, the sound of the group is going to change.
Can you talk about that a little bit? I'm just thinking about people out there, and we always talk about these things, the sound of a group, and it was something that I brought up too with the Aeolus. It's not good enough for each person to be a good player. You're really trying to become this part of this machine that works together and develops this kind of sound. And can you just talk about that, or even talk about how different quartets have different sounds and why?
Well, I think a good chamber ensemble is the sum of all of their parts. I think the best chamber music groups are the ones where all 4 players are equally capable and have equal amounts of personality, musical personalities, and then trying to put them together to form something cohesive, but still maintaining everybody's individual identity. You don't want to sound too cohesive, as a matter of fact. Like you really want to hear people's personalities, but when the group needs to come together, it needs to come together really well.
Right.
And so I think groups sound different just as a result of the sum of those 4 parts or 3 parts, depending on what the group is. It's something that we're always working with the Aeolus Quartet on. Is you need to be a virtuoso. You need to be able to play the Dvorak Cello Concerto as well as you play your Beethoven string quartets, and you need to bring that personality to the quartet and find a way to make all 4 voices work. When we first started the MIro Quartet, we couldn't play anything together. We couldn't even play 8th notes together. We were so.
You had that artistic personality, right?
We had ego issues, but we also had such different musical personalities, but also sort of our development and our upbringing as musicians was totally different from one another. It was compelling, and I think when people heard us early on, they were like, "There's something missing. It's not quite happening yet, but there's something compelling about the 4 of you guys together." And it took a long time. It took a lot of hours, a lot of rehearsal, a lot of sort of discussions and arguments, and to find our sound. And even though we've been playing together with Sandy, or we've been playing together for 15 years, we're still worked on it. Like every rehearsal is trying to find a way to get things to be more cohesive, or to really let one person shine.
Right. Because you always want to be able to bring out your individual personalities. You never want to have to feel like you're compromising on your ideals musically. At the same time, it's all about compromise. So it's. I mean, I'm sure it's just like a marriage in that way. And of course, the many string quartets have gone through marriage counseling together.
Yeah.
So it's having an idea and trying to get everyone else to believe that it was their idea as well.
The thing that helped us personally, we fought a lot early on, but we always discussed. We were very vocal about our issues. And then we also realized that no matter how much I disagreed with somebody, they were just trying to make the quartet sound good. And when I realized that everybody had the same goal as I did, they just approached it differently, then I could sort of let it go.
Right.
So, it's interesting. We use the phrase malleable conviction a lot. It's the ability to play with enormous amounts of conviction, but also maintain an incredible elasticity or flexibility. It's a hard thing to do, and it doesn't always happen. But that's the idea.
Yeah, I love that. Malleable conviction. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
I can't say we came up with it, but we do use it.
That's good, because I'll probably rip it off.
Yeah. That's fine.
And I know that for the concert that you're doing here on July 8th, Teresa Stanislav is going to be playing.
Who you know.
I do know her. I
Yeah.
played with her, and she's played as part of our series last year.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun.